Just let me go this Saturday.
Child, we knew it was coming, honey. I'll repeat it again, honey. We knew it was coming.
Listen to me.
CJ made the video. He basically admitted what we already had been hitting at, that him and Lexi have called it quits officially. If you're not familiar with who I'm speaking on CJ So Cool. He basically was in a relationship for approximately a year for a person by the name of Lexi, but she goes by Living by Lexi. Basically, this relationship started up after him and Royalty officially called it quits. And he was in the midst, I guess, of going through being single. He decided that he wanted to go on like a little dating show. Hence, he found Lexi. Now he paraded Lexi around at first as the assistant. Next thing you know, they were in a full blown relationship. Fast forward to now,
Yeah.
CJ is basically letting us know that, he's trying to do damage control, let us know that he not only didn't want to make the video, but he was pretty much forced to do it, and let us know that him and Lexi are no longer together. But here's the title. Like I said, I already knew it was coming. Pretty much CJ got in this thing pretty much, I feel like, to make Royalty jealous. And here's why I say that, because at the end of the day, he's been going back and forth lately with Royalty about the actual custody hearing slash custody thing concerning the twins. But I think it's one of those things where CJ is basically being his narcissistic self, trying to basically use the children as leverage against Royalty, because at the end of the day, he feels like that's the only thing he has to actually hold over her head. And I'm not saying that he's not a good father, but what I'm saying is basically rattle her head and keep her under his thumb per se. At first, Royalty was to the point she didn't want CJ to see the kids or anything like that. So henceforth is why CJ say he had to get a lawyer involved and basically get it so that he had to get authorized and supervised court-ordered visitations. Fast forward, they actually went back to court and basically, allegedly, they're saying that he was ordered to pay Royalty $20K a month in child support. Also, he was to the point where he went from 3 days a week to he's getting the kids for a actual whole week. Basically, his actual confessional slash video, CJ basically lets us know that, the reason why him and Lexi called it quits is because she basically went through his phone, and his words, not mine. She did a Royalty. She basically, in other words, he said he felt like she didn't trust him. I don't think it's one of the things where it was a trust issue. I think one of the things where she probably felt like CJ was pretty much classic, doing CJ classic thing. That's basically probably cheating on her. And she basically went through the phone probably for clarification. But at the end of the day, I don't understand how it could even be that type of issue. Because at the end of the day, I mean, she should something is a little funny. The fact that he pretty much keeps keeps his baby mama around a lot lately. And, considering he's supposed to be dating her. But in the end of the day, I guess Lexi was trying to do damage control herself and basically try to be friends with Nike. My thing is okay to be cool with Nike, but in the end of the day, you got to keep your eyes open at the same time. Because, I mean, allegedly they're saying, Nike said herself on her channel that she's actually moving from her state to Vegas, where actually CJ is. She's already sent her daughter down there to live with him ahead of time, and so therefore she's coming to stay permanently. But she also said she was going to keep her home that she currently in. So I guess one thing, whatever don't work out, she got somewhere to go back to. But I personally think he was trying to pretty much get rid of Lacey for two reasons. Number one, he want to keep a open door where him and Royalty can get back together. I don't care what nobody say. At the end of the day, he's still trying to hold and pine away for Royalty, because at the end of the day, he pretend like he hate Royalty, for some apparent reason. But it's one thing where he felt like at the end of the day when Royalty left him, that she was gonna do like she normally do, let's come back. And CJ to that person, him being narcissist and having narcissist type ways, he can't take the fact that she can't. In other words, she's strong enough and she pretty much trying to, stand her ground and do for her own self. He felt like, hey, I'm the one who's the primary breadwinner. Eventually, she gonna crawl back and I can maybe do what I've been doing, and that's basically, run her life. Royalty pretty much, try to strap her bootstraps on and pretty much put a bigger panties on and show CJ that she didn't need him, and most importantly, she didn't have to crawl back to him, and that pretty much eating CJ up. Not to mention this thing with Lexi at the beginning, they pretty much pranked us and told us that Lexi was pretty much pregnant, which I knew Lexi wasn't pregnant, especially not that quick. But they actually came back and said it was a prank, and I was like, okay. Henceforth, now he's basically saying officially they're broken up. Now, from the actual move and the actual thing of how he's addressing it in this actual video, I'm thinking this actually is the truth. Now, people were speculating and saying that he had unfollowed Lexi and she had did the same on their Instagram. But you can't pretty much go by that type of stuff because people do that all the day. They get mad at each other, stop unfollowing each other. But a lot of people was coming through his actual Instagram page and was seeing that he didn't have as many pictures of Lexi as he used to. So that pretty much was a red flag right there. He basically, was saying that, he gonna pretty much do the same thing he did in the beginning. Let's go back to the actual dating show and maybe try to find love again. He hate that it didn't work out because in his mind he thought Lacey was the one. And actually, he was gonna marry her like he had been hinting and saying all along. My thing is, I think they got together too quick. I think she pretty much wanted to put a band-aid on the situation, and the reason why I say that is that he had got a fresh relationship with Royalty. They've been together for maybe 6+ years, and for him to try to jump in a relationship with Lexi, I kind of felt like, it was a little premature, it was a little rushed at the end of the day. I said maybe he just on his little O's, he pretty much want to show Royalty, hey, I can get somebody. And that's pretty much what it's screaming now, present day now that they're broken up. Because at the end of the day, if it's a real genuine relationship, I'm thinking you're going to fight for that person and, pretty much try to make it work. And the actual excuse of her going to his phone is pretty much lame as far as trying to break up with somebody. Now, most time people break up with stuff worse than that. Maybe the person cheated, something like that. I personally think it's probably trust and cheating issue. I think probably Alexa had enough. She probably realized that in her mind that, I can see that every time he turn around, he talking about Nike. That should be a red flag anyway. And, it's the fact that, he not only paid for BBL, but in the day he made a joke about it in his actual video. He was saying, well, because he was playing like he was, and then he's getting in character acting as though he was Lexi, responding back to his video that he had previously made. And basically what he was saying was, CJ act like because he paid for her body, that it should matter. At the end of the day, my body's real. But he was saying, he had a lot of years of experience on Lexi, and at the end of the day, he felt like she was young. I didn't know she was 24. She pretty much don't look 24, especially in the face. She look kind of strong in the face. That's no shade, no tea. That's how I see it. But at the end of the day, I think CJ pretty much played himself. He pretty much thought he was going to, use her to actually get back at Royalty. That's still how I feel about the situation. I think that whole relationship was basically trying to, make Royalty jealous. It didn't work. Royalty basically got her somebody. And I don't know, it's one thing what eating CJ alive, the fact that she was over there with Rico. That's why he always got something to say about Rico. Now, I first thought out that Rico was talking about him. Rico was trying to emulate him, just a bunch of hoo-ha, whatever. But child, at the end of the day, I just feel like, hey, CJ pretty much just was trying to make Royalty jealous. It didn't work. So, hey, henceforth, we're to the point where they are broken up. And like at the end of the day, they pretty much give him a window that maybe him and Royalty can get back together. Because I still feel like eventually they're going to get back together. At first, I was like, okay, no, they both got somebody, maybe it won't get to that point. But hey, now that he's officially, as he said, his words not mine, now what Royalty did, I don't know, we're going to see. But I don't know, he pretty much maybe them probably threw that little scenario out the window, consider how he handled the situation with the twins. Because they had a lot of meetups, and it was to the point where a lot of times it got violent. He gave to the point where he had basically had to pull a gun out. It was a lot of rip-rap and hoopla about that custody situation. Now, it got so bad that Lexi's mom had to go get the kids and actually bring the children to the house. So CJ was to the point he didn't have to meet up. Then CJ made the joke about how he was going to make Nike his bodyguard. People took it and ran with it, and it was to the point where it was a lot of hoopla. Nike basically went live about it a couple of times, so people stopped tagging her in it because the end of the day it was just a joke. But it's kind of, a little fishy that Nike's not only moved to Vegas, but then she bringing her girlfriend too. So I'm like, what is going to go on now that he is not with Lexi? What is going to be, and her words not mine, her baby daddy, what they going to do now? I don't know. I pretty much can't wait to see what happens when Miss Nike lands in actual Vegas. See how she interacts with CJ, what they got going on, and see what it is. Now I've noticed a lot. He's been doing a lot of different intros as well with his family, which is cool, which is nice. You know, he's interacting a lot with the children. So at the end of the day, that was what it is. He also made a little sly comment about he felt like he needed a nanny. So I was like, "What you trying to say, CJ? You trying to say that you wanted her also to be your nanny? Because it seemed like pretty much what you had the mom doing. Because the end of the day, the mom was helping with the kids. She was in the kitchen a lot. She was not only picking them up just a lot. And then also you had your little live-in chef slash girlfriend Lexi. Because every time we looked up, Lexi was so-called cooking, and in his mind, he felt like Lexi was such this nice, glorious, cook, like he was basically trying to throw shade at Royalty again. Because then that we already know when him and Royalty was together, Royalty did majority of the cooking. But we're gonna see how CJ act, whether or not he be his narcissistic self, or he gonna be macho about it, man up, or what he gonna do. Because the end of the day, he kept making references saying that it was his fault, it wasn't hers. So I was like, that's pretty much classic. What he trying to say, and deflect, say, hey, I know I messed up. At the end of the day, don't try to drag her. At the end of the day, nobody's trying to drag Lexi. We just trying to get an understanding, see what happened. And I pretty much, looked at the video, and he was confessional slash breakup slash Q&A type session. He basically ironed it out, let us know what it was, what it wasn't, and it is what it is. But everybody can form their opinion on their relationship. Why it happened, why it shouldn't have happened. A lot of people might be cheerleading, might be glad they broken up. But in there, we're gonna see how it is. We're gonna see how CJ pretty much come back from this, if he pretty much stay single or what. But in the day, he felt like he pretty much was close to the last encounter he had with Tata. Now, if you're not familiar with Tata, Tata was a girl he was with when him and Royalty broke up for that little short little period of time, where he actually did cheat on Royalty, and she packed her stuff and left. Pretty much went home to her mom. Tata basically, like he was saying, allegedly, she was getting his credit cards and doing the most, trying to basically get his money. CJ pretty much jumped into that prematurity as well. Because in the day, we could clearly see that Tata was a young girl. I ain't gonna say she was a clout chaser, but at the end of the day, it was just a lot going on. Now he pretty much introduced her to Nike. It seemed like they was pretty much cool. They were trying to get along. I can understand the angle of that, but another person pretty much ironed it out for me. And they said that they feel like Nike be trying to get close to all the girls and women his likers. And she wants to solidify and say, hey, it is what it is. I'm here and I ain't going nowhere. Because I noticed when they went on that actual Six Flags trip, she was basically on him like shit on flies on shit. I was like, every time CJ move, here go Nike. But then late Nike pretend like she got a whole girlfriend. Somebody that coach, and most important Lex ought to be giving that the side eye. But then Lex just sit there laughing and grinning like, okay, she just cool with him. She this that. I'm saying to myself, girl, every time y'all move, she got to move. I don't know. Maybe one thing, Lex ain't want to say that she trying to play nice. I don't know. But in the day, we pretty much see Mr. CJ So Cool has actually let us know that Lacey is no longer in the building. And he pretty much said he got to figure out how he going to tell the kids, because at the end of the day, the kids pretty much know them. Like he tried to say they was close to them. So I was like, okay, they could be, but I don't think it's one of the things they really going to know or care at the end of the day, because they are young at this particular time. But I tell you, somebody I think going to really be happy low-key about it, and that's Miss Kamari. Because the end of the day, people were saying allegedly that Kamari was basically talking fly and talking out the side of her neck to Lexi. I think it's one thing where in Kamara's mind, she feel like she is pretty much standing in the way of possibly her mom and dad getting together. That's just how I feel about it. But at the end of the day, she can pretty much have a lot of drama when it was concerning Royalty anyway, because then they Royalty and Kamara pretty much didn't along, and more or less because Royalty and Kamara's mom, Nike, couldn't get along. So it's one of those things where she really want to send her daughter, because in the end of the day, she felt like in her mind that Royalty did not like her daughter. Now CJ pretty much ironed it out and let us know what it was when he actually left Royalty. He pretty much felt like a lot of stuff he was not able to do when he was with Royalty. She pretty much was holding him back from, having this little standard relationships with people and basically genuine, getting connections and actually doing what he do. But at the end of the day, we already know how CJ get out. He was pretty much taking care of Royalty and the children, but at the end of the day, he was doing his thing, his classic CJ stuff. CJ was cheating, he'll do these little videos every now and then, basically saying, I'd never cheated. I was like, okay, cool, you can say that in the video, but we know better. But I feel like Royalty pretty much feel like she had enough this time. She feel like she wasn't coming back. Not to say she ain't gonna come back, but it is what it is. I think they done did a lot, said a lot, and a lot has happened. And especially with this custody battle with the children, and Roger's mind, she feel like, hey, he done pretty much tried to pull these children out of my arms while I'm holding them tight. But CJ pretty much felt like his back was against the wall. He had no other choice because Roger pretty much was withholding the children. At first, I felt like it was because she didn't want the kids around his new girlfriend, but we had to realize too, to give a little backstory, how he had a home invasion. So I think that's pretty much why she did it too, because at the end of the day, she really wanted, to say to her children, but more or less she did it because she was being spiteful. That just is what it is. But like people was telling CJ, you got to be careful who you have children with, because they kept reference to the fact that she kept her three children that she don't have with CJ away from their father, but no, technically she didn't keep him away. He pretty much didn't want to be a part of their lives, and he wasn't doing that for the children. Hence, CJ stepped in and became their stepdad. They pretty much called CJ dad the whole time him and Royalty was together. But I pretty much, in a way, want to see the So Cool kids back with CJ, because I pretty much miss them doing videos. The content was top tier. I like, the vibe they had going over there. He pretty much got an okay vibe over now, but it ain't as lit as it used to be. And yeah, I know he's noticing them numbers ain't as lit as they used to be when he had Royalty's kids in there. But we're gonna see what they do, and pretty much gonna see how this thing gonna pan out. Pretty much think Royalty gonna still be doing her thing over there on her channel, and I think CJ gonna still be pushing out his content. But we're gonna do it minus Miss Lexi. But we're gonna see what CJ got going on. We're gonna see if he's gonna keep Vegas lit. Most importantly, we're gonna see what kind of content he push out. Now that he's not with Miss Lexi. But like I told you in the title, I seen this coming. At the end of the day, he's not with Miss Lexi anymore. And girl, he pretty much ironed it out and let us know why. If you to the point you want to go over there and check it out, go on his channel, CJ So Cool, and look at the latest video. He irons it out, lets you know what it is, what it ain't, and what it will be. But thank you guys so much for actually tuning in to this reaction video. I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye, guys.
What are you doing? Mom, what are you doing?